you're gonna get from now on every year percentage-wise. So that number can never go up, can never go down. Rich school districts are just rolling in it right now. And they're saying, yeah, this is very unfair, but of course, they're not going up to bat and say, here, take some of my money, okay? And of course, like Plano, okay, extremely rich district, they're not going to sit back and let us talk to our representatives and congressmen and try to get them, our representative senators, talk them into changing the rules to benefit us when they have something to lose. So really, the only way to do this is to sue the state. Even the rich districts are suing the state, and I was kind of confused as to why they were doing that. What have they got to gain? And they were like, well, if they don't get in on the litigation, my impression, there was no one actually said, if they don't get in on the litigation, if any decisions are made, they're going to be left, they're not going to be at the table, they'll split the pie. So, I mean, it's coming from all over the place. It's, probably half a dozen or so different groups actually suing them on different grounds. More information coming.
This is not just our school district, this is statewide.
This is statewide, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. There are, like I said, the group that they joined, I think there's like 500 school districts in it.
Any cost?
No, actually. No, I don't say what I think I heard, but that ain't right. No cost.
I just know they've been toiling with this for, I remember having lunch with them almost 5 years ago up here at Chili's, and it was the same struggle. Here we are 5 years later. I mean, I would think there'd be better ways, but another way to do it. If you're not going to get the money from the state, then you got to deal with it some other way.
Some other way. Right now, they're not getting it.
Yeah, we already raised taxes 2 years ago, the school district did, to the ceiling. And so now it's to the point of, budget.
I mean, I think 86% of the Lake Dallas independent school district's budget is salaries. 86%. I mean, you only got 14% to maintain all the buildings, any kind of foods or whatever like that, textbooks, all that other stuff. It's comes out to 14% of the total budget. So when you take a look at your school taxes on your tax form every year, 86% of that just pays salaries. What's left over is what they have to operate.
And what's sad about that is the teacher salaries are lower than districts
and
around
the teacher salaries are actually low, and all the surrounding districts around here are lower. So, what do you do? And I commended them actually on the fact that they managed to score as high as they did on all these tests and everything, considering the lack of resources that they appear to be getting from the state.
They did a great job there. It's going to be hard to fight though. When you're scoring higher and you're asking for, or you're showing you're starving for money, but you're doing better in school.
Well, they're expecting this to be at the Texas Supreme Court, and a decision is going to have to be made. Something has got to be done. I mean, even legislators have come to them and said, listen, we're not going to get anything done down here in Austin. You're going to have to sue us. Please sue us so something can be done about this.
It's a very unfortunate situation. It's not just affecting Lake Dallas School District. It's statewide. There's a problem. And it's unfortunate to me that they locked everybody in at 2006 or whatever it was. And that's, you're locked in, and that doesn't matter if your numbers go up or down. That's the money.
That's where you're at.
Well, what's also sad is when districts around us, with their local funding and state funding, get several $1,000s more per student to educate the student than we do here. At some point, there needs to be something done by our state to help with that.
Well, unfortunately, the state's not doing it. They're going to be forced to do it by law.
Yeah,
By lawsuit litigation. That's the only way, that's their only avenue. And if they don't get any relief then, I guess move the plan up.
Thank you, Mr. Vaughn.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I appreciate it.
All right, moving on to item 2. Consider and act on the possible reconsideration of an application submitted by Brick Carlu intended for a permit to allow the placement of an outside storage building on the property located at 4500 Swisher Road, Hickory Creek, Texas. Lance, you want to talk about what's on there?
Yeah, just in general, this is the same matter that came before council last month. It was not approved. I understand from the mayor think in discussing whether or not it should be reconsidered, you probably should get away from some discussion of the subject matter, so I'm not going to cut it down.
As Lance said, Councilman, it will be up to one of the prevailing members to hear this, to move on to item 3. This is considered active applications.
So then does this mean that if in the future, if we have an item that doesn't pass, that we're gonna be going through this process in the future too? Are we setting precedent for that?
Well, it happens in every governing body I've represented, it happens rarely. So I wouldn't say that necessarily happens every time.
Now, well, my question, I'm trying to remember, did it not pass or did it not just come up, it failed to reach that motion?
There was no second.
There was no second to it.
So the application is not approved.
And this is for a permanent, this isn't for like a, is this for a permanent, for it to be there permanently, or?
As far as I know, there
Doesn't state
wasn't
otherwise.
a temporary timeframe,
Okay.
correct, so it would be considered permanent.
Excuse me, are we allowed to address the council?
Yes, sir. You want to come on up and just state your name and address?
If it's us and one of the applicant.
Yes.
My name is Jose Santos, I am the applicant, I am the Quick Cross Legal 2, and it is a temporary storage. It's a storage container, much like the ones that you passed coming here on Ronald Reagan Avenue. There are 7 of them on Ronald Reagan up against the Walmart, and there are 4 in the parking lot between, I can't remember if it's the Sonic or the Walmart. Throughout the entire parking lot, there are about 17 of them. And we would like to put one behind our property because we have heavy equipment or tools that are just lying in the shop and they're in the way. And we'd like to put these tools away for when we're not using them and then bring them back out when we do use them. When the place was built, it was built for oil loop changes only. And we're starting to do a little bit more work there that requires bigger tools. But the facility design does not allow to put things in corners. They were very efficient to move cars in and out. Therefore, we would like to put, it's very similar to the ones that are out there on the side of Walmart. It's just a storage container. It's not a permanent structure. It can be moved, but when you put it in place, it can only be moved with heavy machinery. They would come by with a semi-trailer and put it out there. My request is, I wouldn't like to build a structure out there because that puts, financial burden on us, more so than, renting this container, for things that are just tools that we've already purchased and just have no place to store them. We do have a basement, but these things are heavy, and we can't just go downstairs, bring them up, and go back and forth. It would be easier for us to just roll them out and roll them into this container. Any questions regarding the container itself, or?
I had a question for you. At one time, I heard that the container was for storage of oil products, the drums, 55-gallon drums. Is that so?
No, a lot of, if we had those containers to store in there, it wouldn't, when our suppliers bring us oil, we have to have that inside the facility, because a 55-gallon drum of oil is very heavy. For us to move that back and forth, it's not feasible. We keep all of those containers besides the bays where we would use them up. So as far as oil and oil products, there would not be any of those in there. It would be storage.
Okay, so that means nothing flammable in there? That's what that means, okay.
It's, in our terms, junk that we don't use every day, but we do have to have as part of our tools to be used.
With your disposable oil, you'd have somebody pick that up on a regular basis, you don't need to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that stuff it's all contained within our facility. All our waste oil, we have a 400-gallon tank that we actually sell back because oil has gone up so much. That's a commodity nowadays. So we collect it in this waste oil, and somebody comes in and takes it up and hauls it out. So it's not anything that it pertains to changing any of the fluids that are in the vehicle have to be readily available to our guys. So that remains inside the building. Things that we're looking at are engine hoists. You know, they tend to be bulky and they look like a mini crane. You can't just fold them up and put them onto the side. That would go in the container. A transmission jack, heavier jacks, things of that nature. Right now, all our filters, all our oil, antifreeze, everything, those facilities are made to house all of that. But they're not made to have extra room to set aside, wheel balancers and, things of that nature that are bulky tools that just sit around.
I have another question for you.
Sure.
The other quick car loops, I don't know how many you own, or if this is the only